Unlike, I probably mentioned this last time, but unlike O'Hare, Atlanta, bigger airports with multiple towers where you can split up the workload and have at LAX, I'm pretty sure it's one controller's working the departure runway, one controller's working the arrival runway. So sometimes you have to coordinate with each other, but you can split the workload. At SFO, you can't really split the workload. It'd be too much coordination to break up that job between two people. So one person has to work all four of those crossing runways that intersect in the middle, quote unquote, by themselves. During the busy hours of the day, you do have an assist position that's open, and they're just sitting there listening to you, watching what you're doing. They're like a backup, but they don't have a radio frequency. They're not actually able to work any of the traffic. So that's pretty much that's how SFO works, and all other big international airports will have some variation on that, right? With some changes, maybe an additional position. Maybe they have a coordinator open because it's that kind of place. That's essentially the formula. After you depart, now you're going to get shipped to a TRACON. You're going to go to departure control. They're going to work you up to the flight levels.
Okay.
In and out. Most of that stuff is proceduralized, right? You're on a standard instrument departure procedure that is marked on the charts. The pilots have that plugged into their GPS, et cetera. You're not just, flying wherever you want to. Sometimes you do have to get vectored for traffic or for weather or something like that. But the system is designed that those things should kind of be on quote unquote autopilot, right? As a colloquialism. And then as you hit above 18,000 feet and later, then you go to the cruising altitudes, you go to a center. So now you're getting passed off from center to center across the country. So at SFO, the way that works is you're going from San Francisco Tower to Northern California TRACON, moved up to the flight levels. Now you're talking to Oakland Center. Then from Oakland Center, you'll go to, you guys are more familiar with this than I am, but you would go to,
Seattle, Salt Lake, or LA from there.
Exactly. And then across the country, all the way to basically the reverse process would happen in New York. Now you're going from New York Center down to New York Approach or New York TRACON, which eventually would turn you to final for Kennedy Approach or LaGuardia or wherever you're landing. And now you're talking to the tower, and the process is kind of the opposite. So that was more than 2 minutes, but that's the process.
That's what I wanted for people to understand. This is a complex system, and and you can either work it to your advantage or disadvantage.